exciting. It's riveting. It's the much talked about cover story during Nationwide at 5. Here Cliff Hughes get to the heart of the story of the day. Cover story aired 5:30 weekdays during Nationwide at 5. Nationwide at 5. Talk radio at its best. Cover story.
Cover Story is brought to you by JTA Credit Union, serving our members, impacting lives positively.
Multilink, roll with control. Use Multilink, safe, fast, and accepted in more locations.
Do you have a consumer-related issue? Want to learn more about matters concerning you as a consumer? Well, keep it locked to Nationwide 90 FM for the Consumer Hour with me, Nora Gay Banton. Weekdays from 9 to 10 a.m. For all your consumer-centric matters, stay tuned to the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
Ready to tackle that building project? Start right. Start here at H&L Rapid True Value for building supplies. The time by H&L Rapid True Value is
Nationwide time, 5 o'clock.
From the Nationwide News Network, comprehensive, incisive, tough. This is Nationwide at 5.
Good afternoon, I'm Robianne Williams.
And I'm Mahiri Stewart.
In Nationwide News at this hour, judiciary in mourning following death of senior parish court judge Sasha Marie Ashley.
Fear and anxiety grip Jamaicans stranded in the Middle East as the U.S. war on Iran deepens.
So there's nobody on the street. Businesses are closed, of course. Schools are closed. People are working from home.
Civil society groups increase pressure on Dr. Horace Chang to withdraw his blood money remark levied against JFJ.
RJR merges radio offerings to streamline operations.
The BITU urges the Labour Ministry to intervene in its ongoing dispute with the JTA.
In news from the rest of the world, Dominica to revise Cuban medical program following U.S. criticism.
Trump says U.S. took last best chance to hit Iran.
In headline sports, West Indies stuck in India as closed airspace delay in the region delayed their departure after World Cup exit.
And later in our broadcast, in our cover story at 5:35, Jamaicans in the Middle East remain tense and anxious as hostilities in the region escalate following the U.S. and Israel's attack on Iran on Saturday and Iran's retaliatory strikes.
I know I speak for all of us that our nerves are frayed, our emotional and mental state is slowly being picked at.
We'll hear from a few of them.
In the nation's business at 6:25, the JTA is calling for the relocation of people displaced by Hurricane Melissa who are still being housed in school properties. We'll hear from President Mark Malaver.
And at 7, it's the comments section with Shalois Michael and Mahiri Stewart. This evening, they're asking, what's your reaction to the JTA's call for shelterees to be relocated from schools 4 months post-Melissa? Give us your comments by logging on to our Facebook page, Nationwide News Network, and by tweeting us at Nationwide Radio, and message us on WhatsApp at 876-285-5693. You can also leave your comments on Instagram at Nationwide 90 FM. All these and more as we take you home on air on your mobile, Nationwide 90 FM, RevoNews.ai, and on the Revo News app. It's available on Google Play and the App Store. This Monday afternoon, it's Monday, March 2, 2026.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. Senior Parish Court Judge Sasha Marie Ashley has died. Her death was announced by Chief Justice Brian Sykes on Monday. The senior justice passed Monday morning after a period of illness. She was 45. Siobhan Campbell has that story.
Chief Justice Brian Sykes praised Judge Ashley for her service to the judiciary.
Judge Ashley was an outstanding judicial officer who served the people of Jamaica with distinction, compassion, and an unwavering commitment to justice. Throughout her service in Hanover, St. James, Clarendon, and Westmoreland, she demonstrated an admirable balance of firmness, fairness, and humanity. qualities that earned her the respect of litigants, attorneys at law, court staff, and her judicial colleagues.
Justice Ashley began her judicial career in July 2016. She first acted as a parish court judge, which was at the time still referred to as a resident magistrate. She was fully appointed to the post in December 2018. She is the daughter of late attorney at law, MP for Southwest St. Anne, Ernest Smith. Beyond her professional excellence, the Chief Justice described Justice Ashley as a warm and vibrant presence within the judiciary family. He says her collegial spirit, quiet strength, and genuine care for others enriched every court in which she served. Chief Justice Sykes says Judge Ashley's death is not only a loss of a valued colleague, but also the loss of a cherished friend.
This tragedy is made all the more painful by the fact that her life and judicial career were still unfolding, marked by great promise, purpose, and service. Many among us worked closely with her, learned from her, and were inspired by her dedication to the administration of justice. On behalf of the judiciary of Jamaica, I extend deepest condolences to Judge Ashley's family, loved ones, and all who mourn her passing.
Before going to the bench, Ashley served as Crown Counsel and acted as Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions. Former DPP Paula Llewellyn described her as a woman of integrity, a team player, and a mentor. The former DPP described her passing as heartbreaking. Siobhan Campbell for Nationwide News.
Tense and anxious, that's the overwhelming feeling among Jamaicans in the Middle East as hostilities in the region escalate following the US and Israel's attack on Iran on Saturday and Iran's retaliatory strikes. Across the region, the UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, Jordan, and Kuwait, all home to US military bases, say they had intercepted missiles fired towards them. Khaleesi Wright reports.
Jamaicans in the United Arab Emirates, UAE, say there have been multiple loud explosions as the country's air defenses intercept missiles fired from Iran. They've been getting alerts via text message urging them to hunker down. The alert seen by our news center says, due to current situation, a potential missile threat, seek immediate shelter in the closest secure building and stare away from windows, doors, and open areas. Await further instructions. A Jamaican woman posting on her TikTok account under the name Abigail says the sound of loud explosions over the past 24 hours have made it difficult to rest.
It's 1:53 a.m. in the morning and I can't sleep because I have to keep my eye on the ground. In this case, in the sky. Like after 10, I doze off and I was awakened by like a huge explosion. It was that bad that the building where I'm in shakes severely. I look outside, people out there video who are cry, who are pray. It's bizarre.
On Monday, the UAE said it has intercepted 9 ballistic missiles, 6 cruise missiles, and 148 drones. Abigail says she's eager to return to Jamaica. Another Jamaican in the UAE, educator Lorenzo Smith, told Nationwide on Monday that limited flights have resumed.
We didn't hear any explosive sounds. The 2 major airports, that's the Dubai International and Zayed International in Abu Dhabi, they're now offering limited flights out, so that's a good sign. It's relatively calm today. However, the atmosphere is still tense, still a bit tense. I've made contact with some Jamaicans in Kuwait, and they are having a little more difficult than we are in the UAE, because you'd have seen in the news where a fighter jet pretty much crashed in Kuwait. So yeah, they're having it more difficult than we are in the UAE.
In the latest reports on Monday morning, international airlines Etihad and UAE carrier Emirates began limited operations. Reports are that 16 flights have departed from Abu Dhabi. Meanwhile, in Kuwait, Jamaican English teacher Angelique Davidson says the hostility is taking a mental toll.
Currently, we are not going out to teach. We are teaching online. But even then today, while teaching, there is a boom. And of course, we have to stay calm and collected as we are delivering the lesson, and we just try to maintain that sense of calm as much as possible. However, I know I speak for all of us that our nerves are frayed, our emotional and mental state is slowly being picked at.
Davidson says about 70 Jamaicans are employed as teachers in Kuwait. Khaleesi Wright for Nationwide News.
And a Jamaican living in Qatar says many businesses have closed and people are currently working from home.
There's not a lot of activities that's happening around me, especially because it's Ramadan. So regardless of all of this, you wouldn't see people on the road. So there's nobody on the street. Businesses are closed, of course. What else? Schools are closed. People are working from home. They have certain supermarkets that are operating 24/7 now, so that we have access to goods, because sometimes delivery apps are down based on the information that we get from the government, because we're always being urged to stay inside.
Another Jamaican in Kuwait says they have shelters available in case of a major strike.
Just a quick note, if you wanted to add anything about preparedness, well, we know of shelters being made available through the public schools in the event of any strikes on the building, as well as in the basement of, I think, all buildings. There is a space, at least we should converge in the basement, and that would be like temporary shelter until we can either evacuate or, leave if we can. But because the airspaces are closed, we are pretty much locked in at the moment as well.
A Jamaican living in Kuwait. A group of 5 civil society organizations, CSOs, have called on National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang to withdraw his blood money remark levied against Jamaicans for Justice, JFJ. The CSOs made the call in a statement to the media on Monday. Mahiri Stewart has that story.
Speaking on Nationwide this morning last Monday, Dr. Horace Chang labeled the human rights lobby group JFJ as living off blood money.
Let me get you clearly. You're saying that entities like JFJ, and you've mentioned them by name 4 times in the interview so far, that they live off blood money because their criticism of the police increases funding to them, and you believe that that's what they're doing. Just to get you clear.
I think so. It doesn't happen. They have never shown an interest in supporting the police in their efforts. So, no, that doesn't matter. Innocent Jamaicans dying is not a problem. The fact is that the police roll out all cameras. No.
JFJ, in response, dismissed the remark, labeling it as untrue, unfortunate, and inflammatory. The group added that it would be seeking legal advice on how to proceed. Today, 5 CSOs have come out in support for the JFJ. The Caribbean Vulnerable Communities Coalition, Equality for All Foundation, Idea Research Center, Jamaica Accountability Meter Portal, and National Integrity Action, NIA, described the minister's comments as slanderous. They say groups like them receive contributions from local entities and grants from the same international development partners as the government of Jamaica. The CSOs say that while they welcome constructive criticism, they reject statements such as the minister's, which threaten their safety, undermine their work, or diminish their democracy. They are calling on Dr. Chang to withdraw his remarks. The statement bears the name of NIA's principal director, Dr. Gavin Myers. Dr. Myers has called on the minister to apologize for his comments when speaking on Nationwide at 5 last Tuesday. As well as a group of church leaders calling themselves the Watchman Church Leaders Alliance, also made calls for Dr. Chang to withdraw and apologize for his words. But the youth arm of the Jamaica Labour Party, Young Jamaica, has urged Minister Chang to stand his ground and not withdraw his statement. Mahiri Stewart for Nationwide News.
The RJR Gleaner Communications Group has announced that its 4-station structure will be aligned into a 2-brand platform. The group made the disclosure in a statement on Monday. It says the move is part of its commitment to deliver stronger, more competitive results for its clients. It says effective March 16, the group's portfolio will be unified under its flagship brands Radio Jamaica 94 FM and Fame 95 FM. RJR Gleaner Group says that talent from Power 106 FM, Hits 92 FM and Music 99 FM will transition into the flagship brands to strengthen and streamline the structure. The group says its approach will allow for concentration of resources, amplify reach, and create more unified platform for advertisers. You're listening to Nationwide News at 5. More news after these.
See twice the style for less at IQ Optical. Buy one pair of glasses and get your second and third pair half price. Don't miss out. Call 876-929-7732 or visit IQ Optical today, where clarity never looked sharper.
The time by IQ Optical is
5:14.
Termites, rodents, or birds infesting your home or office? Call Rentokil Initial, the pest expert, at 876-926-4236 for a free pest assessment island-wide. The temperature brought to you by Rentokil Initial is...
It's 28 degrees Celsius in Kingston and Montego Bay.
Whether you're buying your very first home, purchasing a more spacious home, or securing an investment property, a JMMB Bank mortgage gives you the confidence to take the next step. Enjoy low interest rates, competitive processing fees, a 1-month payment holiday available upon request, and exclusive merchant partner discounts to help you get move-in ready. Your dream deserves the right support. JMMB Bank Mortgage, you can do this. We can help. Speak with a mortgage specialist today at 876-998-JMMB or visit jmmb.com. Conditions apply.
Continuing the news, Hurricane Melissa's total estimated damage to Jamaica now stands at $10 billion. The disclosure was made by Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness at a Jamaican diaspora town hall in St. Kitts and Nevis on Friday.
You can't reconstruct without money. Can't do the reconstruction without money. And we don't have the money. Let me put some things into context for you. The World Bank estimated that the damage was somewhere in the region of about $8.6 billion, my vague recollection of it. We just finalized that figure through the PIOJ, and it is closer to $10 billion of damage. US are talking, when they're talking US. Anybody knows what is Jamaica's GDP? Jamaica's GDP is about $21 billion. You get the magnitude of the disaster.
Sections of western Jamaica suffered extensive damage when the Category 5 hurricane impacted the country in October last year. 4 months later, the government says the country is now at a stage of recovery. Dr. Holness extended gratitude to CARICOM and the international community for their support following the hurricane. He noted that despite its internal conflicts, the Caribbean community remains a family in times of need.
Many countries came to our aid immediately, including many CARICOM countries. Almost all CARICOM countries contributed in some way. Some gave cash, some gave kind, some gave their time and labor, some sent building materials, all kinds of things. You might hear talk about the region and we're not integrated and there is fragmentation. Look, everybody has their own interests that they have to protect. But we're still a family. You and your brother, you and your sister don't always see the thing the same way, but touch one away. That is the spirit, that we're always looking out for each other.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness.
The Bustamante Industrial Trade Union wants the Labour Ministry to intervene in an ongoing dispute with the Jamaica Teachers Association, JTA, over long outstanding payments owed to employees. BITU represents the security, ancillary, accounting, and clerical staff at the JTA. In a statement late on Sunday, the union says increments and seniority payments dating back to 2017 remain unresolved despite repeated commitments by JTA management. According to the BITU, the JTA did make some payments in late January following worker action, but it adds that several employees have reported inaccuracies and miscalculations with the amounts received. BITU alleges that the JTA has since failed to honor its commitment to provide detailed calculations to the ministry by February 13, 2026, despite repeated requests. Vice President Rudolph Thomas described the situation as deeply unfair. He charges that it's ironic for an organization representing teachers to fail to treat its own staff with transparency and respect. BITU says it's demanding a full breakdown of payment calculations and corrected individual letters for the affected workers.
Popular music producer Linval Shabdon Thompson Jr. has been freed of corruption charges. His trial, which started on February 19, concluded today, Monday. His attorney, Donahue Martin, spoke with our news center shortly.
Yes, I can confirm that my client, Mr. Linval Thompson, was today acquitted of charges concerning breaches of the Corruption Prevention Act. The issues in the case concern that of credibility, and as a consequence, after a full trial, the presiding judge had found the client of whom I appear, Mr. Linval Thompson, not guilty.
The judge found that inconsistencies in the prosecution's evidence could not allow him to convict. Shabdon was charged following an incident that occurred in 2021. Allegations are that the producer offered a policeman $2 million to cause an illegal firearm, which had been found in a vehicle he was driving, to go missing. Shabdon was subsequently charged with breaching the Corruption Prevention Act and illegal possession of a firearm and ammunition. He was freed of the gun charges in April of 2022. Despite Monday's acquittal, Shabdon remains in police custody on murder charges. The music producer is charged with 3 counts of murder that occurred on Marl Road, Rose Heights, and St. James on Wednesday, May 25. He was positively identified during an identification parade. Mr. Martin has expressed optimism that those charges too may soon be dropped.
World in a Minute is brought to you by ABC Electrical Sales. We make things as easy as ABC. Hose Assembly and Supply, equipping Jamaica for success.
And Charles O'Connor Consulting Network, COCN, driven by international accounting standards, modern technology, and integrity.
The World in a Minute.
The government of Dominica says it will soon announce changes to its long-standing Cuban medical workers program. Speaking in Parliament, Dominica's Foreign Affairs Minister Dr. Vince Henderson says there are about 65 Cuban medical personnel serving in Dominica. He did not disclose details of the coming changes. The announcement comes amid heightened criticism from the U.S. Embassy in Barbados. In February, the embassy described Cuba's overseas medical missions as a system rooted in coercion and abuse. It alleged that Cuban medical workers faced withheld wages, confiscated passports, forced family separation, and excessive working hours and unsafe conditions. It also accused the Cuban government of profiting from the program.
U.S. President Donald Trump says he took the decision to launch a war against Iran because it was the last best chance to stop the country's regime. Speaking at the White House for the first time since the attack, Trump says the U.S. is carrying out large-scale combat operations. More than 1,200 targets have already been struck. The U.S. and Israel struck Iran on Saturday, killing its supreme leader. The Israeli military has since launched new strikes on Tehran.
World in a Minute was brought to you by ABC Electrical Sales. We make things as easy as ABC. Hose Assembly and Supply, equipping Jamaica for success.
And Charles O'Connor Consulting Network, COCN, driven by international accounting standards, modern technology, and integrity.
Recapping the top stories making nationwide news at this hour, judiciary plunged into mourning following death of senior parish court judge Sasha Marie Ashley.
Fear and anxiety grip Jamaicans stranded in the Middle East as the U.S. war on Iran deepens.
Civil society groups increase pressure on Dr. Horace Chang to withdraw his blood money remark levied against JFJ.
RJR merges radio offerings to streamline operations.
I'm Robianne Williams.
And I'm Mahiri Stewart.
You can find the news on our website at revonews.ai and on the Revo News app. It's available on Google Play and the App Store. News next, the headlines at 6.
Commercial spaces for you. Parks and attractions for you. Housing and residential developments for you. Beautiful rental properties for you. Improving quality of life through infrastructure development across Jamaica for you. The Urban Development Corporation, making development happen for you. Brought to you by the Urban Development Corporation.
Every day, Rosie has a glass of fruit drink with breakfast, an energy drink on the way to work, a flavored water with lunch, and 2 glasses of soda with dinner. which adds up to more than 50 teaspoons of sugar a day. And all that extra sugar could bring on obesity. Are we drinking ourselves sick? 71% of Jamaicans support a tax on sugary drinks. Help tackle obesity and protect our children's future. A message from the Heart Foundation of Jamaica.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Sports here on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Wayne Walker. Moorlines United, they were leading Harbourview by 2-0 in their Ray and Nephew Jamaica Premier League encounter just down the Washington Boulevard at the Waterhouse Mini Stadium. Ronaldo Barrett gave Moorlines United the lead after just 6 minutes into the game. Then the prolific Nicholas Nelson made it 2-0 4 minutes later. Moorlines, they're currently 12th in the standings, in the 14-team standings, that is. They've got 23 points, and if they win tonight, they'll join the 11th team, Treasure Beach, on 26 points each. While Harbourview, they're looking to climb out of the bottom two of the championship. They're at the minute on 20 points. And later at 7:30, Waterhouse will be looking. They've put together, 5 wins from their last 6 games. They'll be looking for a 6th victory tonight when they take on Spanish Town Police, who are at the foot of the table, but who are at the minute in a very good run of form. Jamaica's national senior women's football team, it's expected to battle the heat and the famed artificial surface when they take on Nicaragua at the Estadio Nacional in their FIFA World Cup qualifier, and that will come your way in just under 2 hours' time, 7 o'clock Jamaica time to be exact. The Group B encounter will be Jamaica's second of the qualifying campaign. They crushed Dominica by 18 goals last November. Jamaica are currently behind the Nicaraguans, who have played a game more, and a victory in this fixture will see the Jamaicans taking over sole leadership of the Group B, that is. Well, not sole leadership. They'll take over leadership on goal difference. And the captain, Khadija Shaw Bunny from Manchester City, she has admitted to the challenges faced in Managua since they arrived last Monday. But she's still looking for a very tough and challenging encounter.
As it relates to the turf, obviously most of us are based in Europe, so we aren't really used to playing on turf. But I think we've been here for a couple of days now to try to get accustomed to it and get used to it. So yeah, it's not ideal, but I think these circumstances are going to happen. We're going to face challenges, whether we like it or not, but we have to just get on with it. And I think we're just going to go out and try to give a professional performance.
That's Khadija Bunny Shaw, captain of the Jamaica team. Well, the Jamaicans are hunting a 3rd straight World Cup appearance, and Shaw says she's liking the camaraderie in the team at the minute.
Yeah, like I said, we've been here a few days now to try to get accustomed to the pitch and the heat. Obviously, it's different from what we're ideally used to, but yeah, I think it's been good. We've come together after being away for so long.
That's Khadija Bunny Shaw, captain of the Jamaica women's team. Still with football, the Jamaican international Mikel Antonio says he feels like a schoolboy again as he gets ready to play his first club football match in 15 months. The 35-year-old striker survived the horrific car crash in December of 2024, which left him with multiple leg fractures, and it also sidelined him for 8 months. His contract with West Ham United was not renewed, and despite impressing in a few trials, he was ultimately not offered a contract in England.
At the beginning, clubs were calling saying, yeah, I want him to come in and train. And with my ego that I had, I was like, I'm not coming to train. Like, you've seen that I've played with Jamaica. And what I've done in the last 10 years, I shouldn't have to go in and train with somebody. I should be able to just sign a contract and come in. So my ego was getting in the way of me signing contracts because I was like, I'm not doing it. And then clubs are like, well, if you ain't doing that, then we're not signing you. And I was like, cool, they'll sign me, someone will sign me.
Mikel Antonio, well, he has now joined the Qatari side Al Saleh, where he's hoping to get much needed playing time. Mason Holgate, his international teammate, was the one who he said called him and told him to come to Qatar and you'll get playing time in a less stressful football championship. Antonio is West Ham United's record goal scorer in the Premier League. He's got 68 goals in a career at West London, which spanned 323 games in all competition. And finally, in sports at this time, the West Indies team is currently stuck in India after turmoil in the Middle East has forced a closure of airspaces in the region, delaying their departure following their exit from the ICC T20 World Cup. Cricket West Indies says it's working closely with the International Cricket Council, that's the ICC who runs international cricket, government authorities and airline partners to secure the earliest safe travel arrangement for the squad and its support staff. The organization emphasized that the safety and well-being of the players, coaches and officials remain their highest priority. At the minute, the team remains safely accommodated in India while officials continue to monitor the evolving situation. Cricket West Indies, they've also thanked the fans, the families and stakeholders for their patience and understanding during the delay. And to the team itself, the captain, Shea Hope, says the players can be proud of the way they performed in the tournament.
Our bowling, we thought it was a lot better than previous series. And this is when you really wanted to stand up. The bowling, especially the power players, been really good. I think we had about 38 wickets out of 40 in the group stages. So that was amazing in T20 cricket. And then from a batting standpoint, Shimron Hetmeyer coming in at number 3 and doing what he does best. A lot of the batters coming in, contributing to those bigger totals that we got in this tournament. Thought the feeling was okay in patches, but again, we still got many areas that we could improve. And you can pick the entire tournament down. There's always somewhere you can improve, but there's always a lot of positive that you can take from it.
As the West Indies white ball captain Shea Hope, the team suffered a 5-wicket defeat on Sunday at Eden Gardens in Kolkata in a very, very tense atmosphere, and that defeat crashed them out of the tournament. It prevented them going to the semi-finals. And the semi-finals are coming up later this week on Wednesday. It will be South Africa, most people's favorite for the title. They're going to be taking on New Zealand. Then semi-final 2 is on Thursday, and it's going to feature England against India in one crunch showdown in Mumbai. All right, that's it for sports at the minute. If you're joining us for the first time, our Lions, they're leading Harbourview by 2-0. In Premier League football, they're still in the first half of that game. Waterhouse against Spanish Town to come a little later on tonight. The Jamaica team, the women's team, they're going to be in action tonight as well. In just about an hour and a half from now in Managua, they'll take on Nicaragua in a crucial World Cup women's qualifiers. Alex Webby is going to be back with you at 6:05 with much more on our major sportscast.
For all your custom framing, printing, graphic design, and purchase of art, Make It Frame Art Jamaica Limited, serving you for over 40 years. The time by Frame Art Jamaica is
5:31.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Every day, Jamaicans have something to say. In the group chats, on social media, in the streets, there's a place where it all comes together. The comment section. This is not a lecture. This is not a call-in show. This is the hottest topics of the day, filtered through real opinions, real WhatsApp messages, real voice notes, real reactions. You agree, disagree, sound off, text it, voice note it, debate it. Comments section, Monday to Friday from 7 to 7:30 p.m. only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media.
Hi there. Here's some good news for these trying times. Quote, "By God's word, I can see where I'm going. They throw a beam of light on my dark path." Unquote. Psalm 119, verse 105. Listen for God's word weekdays at 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. through
Oasis. Stop by for a refreshing drink and share a God perspective for the day.
Oasis, weekdays 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. right here on Nationwide, a revolution in media.
The rebroadcast of the Oasis can be heard weekdays at 5:45 a.m.
Turn up the heat with Hot Listing, Nationwide 90 FM's new on-air and online classifieds feature. If you have a car for sale, room for rent, or yard sale come up. If you look at work or need stuff. If you provide a service, make it a Hot Listing, Nationwide 90 FM's new on-air and online classified segment. Your listing plays again and again. From morning till evening. You send it, we play it. You say it once, Jamaica hears it all day, every hour. Contact our sales team now at 876-630-1210 or sales at nationwidenewsnetwork.com. Hot Listings on Nationwide 90 FM, a new revolution in media.
You may have been hearing the teasers. Now it's official. Beginning Monday, February 9, 2026, Nationwide News Network launches something special. The Nationwide Family Club, exclusively on Patreon.
With the Family Club, members get early access to our documentaries before anyone else. Some of your favorite segments, including Cliff Says, What's on My Mind, Cover Story, and others will now be a click away inside the Family Club. There are 3 tiers of membership. First, Bronze, the Family Insider, behind-the-scenes access, Monday motivational videos, members-only chats, and on-air birthdays and anniversary shoutouts.
Second, Silver, Nationwide VIP, breaking news alerts, exclusive documentaries, quizzes, personal milestones celebrated on air, and weekly family roll call mentions. Oh, and for our biggest supporters,
our gold category, elite listener, full archive access, early releases, private studio tours, live show experiences, personalized birthday videos, and exclusive live streams. From historic election coverage to lifetime, impact, Jamaican milestones, and rare archive content. This is Nationwide like you've never seen it before.
Join the family, support Nationwide 90 FM, the station that informs, entertains, and educates. Visit patreon.com/Nationwide News Network. That's patreon.com/Nationwide News Network. Nationwide Family Club, where you are family, because we see you as family.
Cover Story is brought to you by
Multilink. Roll with control. Use Multilink. Safe, fast, and accepted in more locations.
Multilink. Access every time, everywhere I go. Multilink. 24/7 access for me. It's just a win-win when we use Multilink. This card is Jamaican built, yeah. Fast and secure, you can use anywhere. Spend while supporting the economy.
Look for the Multilink logo on your card and benefit from Jamaica's largest debit payment network.
Multilink, 24/7 access for me.
What would I do without my Multilink?
Yeah, dear listeners, top of the afternoon to you. Thanks for staying with us. You're still live inside Must Listen Radio. This is a Nationwide at 5. I'm Tyrone Reed. We're inside the cover story, and inside the cover story, we turn our attention to a matter that has been dominating international headlines. And of course, we'll try to bring you a Jamaican perspective, the views of Jamaicans living in the Middle East. In terms of how they're faring throughout what has been the latest explosion in terms of warfare in that region. Now, Jamaicans in the Middle East at this hour remain tense and anxious as hostilities in the region continue to escalate. This following the U.S. and Israel's attack on Iran on Saturday, and Iran's retaliatory strikes across the region. The United Arab Emirates, that's the UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, Jordan, and Kuwait, all home to U.S. military bases, say they had intercepted missiles fired towards them. Now, Jamaicans in the UAE say there have been multiple loud explosions as the country's air defenses intercept missiles fired from Iran. They've been getting alerts also via text messaging urging them to hunker down. The alert seen by our news center says, quote, due to current situation, a potential missile threat, seek immediate shelter in the closest secure building and steer away from windows, doors, and open areas. Await further instructions. A Jamaican woman posting on her TikTok account under the name Abigail says the sounds of loud explosions over the past 24 hours have made it difficult to rest. On Monday, the UAE said it has intercepted 9 ballistic missiles, 6 cruise missiles, and 148 drones. Abigail says she's eager to return to Jamaica. Of course, let's have a listen to Abigail in her own words.
This is crazy. As I explained before, Qatar is still intercepting the missiles from Iran. Iran is not backing down, of course. They're fighting, but I can see that our country has been defending every strike, and I love that for us because at least that give a little hope. Say, somebody did it, kind of just look out for the people. But I'm not in a line, come on my yard. I would rather be in Jamaica right now, but not in a line.
The voice there of Abigail, a Jamaican in the Middle East. Over in Kuwait, Jamaican English teacher Angelique Davidson says the hostility is taking a mental toll. Ms. Davidson joins us now, and we're also being joined by 2 Jamaicans in the United Arab Emirates, Lorenzo Smith and Bradley Barrett. Top of the afternoon to all of you. Welcome to Nationwide at 5.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good
for having
evening.
us.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you for having me as well, and good afternoon to your listeners on here.
Indeed. First of all, let me thank all of you for consenting to be on with us. There are people who are living in the Middle East who are not comfortable speaking, so we appreciate you coming on to be with us to paint a picture for Jamaicans living in Jamaica and, of course, across the diaspora as it relates to what you're currently experiencing. I'd love to begin with you. We heard there from earlier from someone in the Middle East, Abigail. Let me start with you, Ms. Davidson.
Yes.
Talk to us about your experience when this latest war broke out where you are there in the Middle East. Just talk to us where you were at the time that it started and what it has been like for you. A lot of Jamaicans can't really imagine bombs flying overhead. So if you could just walk us through your experience so far.
All right. So good evening again, everyone, and to all the listeners. Firstly, when I first heard the initial explosion, I thought it was just a slam of a door, because at that time it wasn't very loud. But then I heard a faint siren going off maybe about 3 minutes later. I didn't make the connection because I thought that was just, again, a door slamming. And then they have been testing the sirens previously. So didn't, make the connection initially. Then about, I would say, another 20 minutes, another explosion was heard. And that is when I confirmed it. Yes, something is up. And the sirens went off again. And so it was then that I realized something had begun. And I would say that was around the first set of explosions we heard at that time, in Kuwait at least. And from then, the sirens have been, it will go off when there is any, lurking danger, but it's also used to reassure us that, the danger has passed. So far since that initial 2 explosions, I've also heard a few, you know, and I've jokingly said to someone that I've heard more explosions than I've heard gunshots even in my life. You know, because it is just that situation that's escalating, and more we're hearing explosions. But right now it is calm. I will say it is very calm, and we are not experiencing any explosions currently. So I'm grateful to God for that.
Let me see if I can, before we have to go to our first break. Lorenzo Smith, you are in the United Arab Emirates along with Bradley Barrett. I think Bradley Barrett is also in the United Arab Emirates. Can you describe what the atmosphere has been like since Saturday? And have you personally heard or seen any of the interceptions or the explosions so far?
No, good evening, everyone. Thanks for having me. Personally, I haven't seen any of the interception, but definitely heard them. The first one I heard was on Saturday around 1 p.m. And, well, like Angelique, I didn't pay much mind. I thought it was, you know, construction because they're building another complex close to them. So I thought it was construction. So when the second one went off, and I was like, oh, something is happening. And then I went to check the news, and it was confirmed. And then Saturday in the evening, it was just horrendous. It was just horrendous. Things were just going off, you know, constantly. Yes. I didn't get much sleep on Saturday because it was just horrible. And then the SMS came in, and then when the SMS, you know, comes in, it usually comes in with a loud sound, so that also drives some sort of fear in you. But into Sunday again, that was another Sunday morning was another test of you know, mental strength, because they were just going off, you know, the constant. They were so loud at that as well. It's just nothing. It can't compare anything to it. It's like. It's one of those experiences that you just had to be there to experience.
Do you share a similar sentiment, Bradley? Let me take your remarks as to your experience before we have to go to the break and come back with the remainder of your thoughts. What was your initial experience like?
Again, good evening to everyone. It was in the initial part of it. It was a little bit. I would say it was a little bit scary, but after a while, you know, I sort of found some peace and some calm, because again, being a believer, you know, and strong in faith, you know, I prayed and I trust the Lord, because I realized that I couldn't operate, you know, in a space of fear. You know, there was one time when the building was really shaking, and, you know, I fly off the bed and on the floor. And then I was on the floor for a little while. And then I said, boy, I can't really stay on the floor all the time. So I'm going to go on my bed. You know, so I just prayed to the Lord, and I went back on my bed. And then, you know, I got rid of the fear to some degree. But certainly on Saturday and on Sunday, you know, there was a lot of activity on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
And, you know, it felt very close to home. I'm in Abu Dhabi, by the way. And I feel like, you know, the targeting of the attacks and so on, at points it sounded like it was really close. And there's a military base that is close to me, maybe about 30 minutes from me. So I'm suspecting that if they're attacking that military base, it could very well feel as though it's really, it was really shaking the house, you know, at points.
Yeah.
And interestingly, just now when your producer was trying to reach me, the alerts went off again. But even before the alerts came in, there were bombs dropped just like 5 minutes ago.
Wow.
Whether they were intercepted or not, I don't know. But you hear the loud explosions like just 5 minutes ago when the producer was trying to reach me.
We've gone past our first break. But if you can just hold that thought for me, Sir Bradley. We're talking with Jamaicans who are in the Middle East, and we have to take our first break right here inside Nationwide 5. We take the break right here and come back with more of their thoughts.
Order Pizza Hut online at pizzahutjamaica.com or through WhatsApp at 876-837-4488. Pizza Hut, now that's delivery. The time by Pizza Hut is
5:48.
Multi-link, access every time, everywhere I go. Multi-link, 24/7 access for me. It's just a win-win when we use multi-link. This card is Jamaican built, yeah. Fast and secure, you can use anywhere, spend while supporting the economy.
Look for the Multilink logo on your card and benefit from Jamaica's largest debit payment network.
Multi-link, 24/7 access for me.
What would I do without my Multilink?
Every day, Rosie has a glass of fruit drink with breakfast, an energy drink on the way to work, a flavored water with lunch, and 2 glasses of soda with dinner, which adds up to more than 50 teaspoons of sugar a day. And all that extra sugar could bring on obesity. Are we drinking ourselves sick? 71% of Jamaicans support a tax on sugary drinks. Help tackle obesity and protect our children's future. A message from the Heart Foundation of Jamaica.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you so very much for sticking and staying with us here live inside Must Listen Radio. This is Nationwide at 5. We're talking with Jamaicans who are presently in the Middle East. Of course, war has broken out in the Middle East. There was a joint strike by the U.S. and Israel on Iran. And of course, Iran has retaliated, a number of Gulf states being affected as a result of that. You were saying, Bradley, I want to get to whether or not, I heard from in one of the clips we played earlier, a Jamaican saying, look, I just want to come home. I want to hear from you. If you could complete your thoughts, and then I want to hear from beginning with you, Bradley. Do you want to come home right away? Do you think that is the immediate solution to what is happening? And I'd love to go around the table to hear from the others as well.
Yeah, I was just saying that like 5 minutes ago, and even as you took the break a while ago, there were more explosions again. So as we speak, there are explosions. Today, it has been calm. Largely for most of today, it has been calm.
Yeah.
It happened like early in the morning, like there was one wave, and then since that time, now this is another wave, and now it's like almost 3 a.m. in the morning. So it's now another wave happening now. So, but by and large, though, it's not like people are panicking, because the authorities are very, very on top of it as far as we can see based on the communication. They continue to send out these alerts and ask you to shelter in place. And as they have reported, they have said that they have shut down, many of these missiles and drones. So it from the looks of things, it appears that they're having things under control. So it's not like we are panicking. I'm hearing the explosion, but I'm not running all over the place again. But when it happened, like the first day, Saturday, it brought a little bit of fear. But right now, I'm at a much better place than I was on Saturday.
So you're okay with sheltering in place and riding out the situation?
Yeah, I'm okay. And I mean, coming home, yes, that might be something that I'll consider, but I'm not going to operate from a position of fear. From my experience, and as I've been to a few places, and by far, the UAE is by far the most safest place that I've ever been. So I'm not going to operate from a position of fear.
All right. How about you, Lorenzo Smith? Do you want to shelter in place, or are you thinking coming home is the best option right now? Lorenzo Smith? It seems we've lost Lorenzo. Is Angelique there? Angelique Davidson?
Sorry, yes, I'm saying I echo the same sentiments as Bradley.
Yes.
I'm also in Abu Dhabi, and the government, they're pretty much on top of things. They do communicate with us. They're very frank with us and stuff like that. They're very reassuring as well. So, and again, I mean, Abu Dhabi, UAE, along with the Gulf countries are fairly safe, fairly safe. So I do echo the sentiments of Bradley at this point in time.
So, Angelique, how about you?
Well, I do feel a greater sense of calm compared to when it first started. And as it relates
Yes.
to wanting to come home, of course, that's like the deep seated thought, especially if things were
I
to
agree.
escalate from where it is currently. But right now, with the calm we're experiencing, plus the airport is closed, the airspace is volatile. It's better
Mm.
to stay put, but in a moment where there is that sense of there's a green light that you can possibly move, I might definitely consider it. Just to be out of that like I would say an escalating situation.
And
But
you would.
yeah,
No,
go
sorry.
ahead.
Go ahead. Complete your thought.
No, I was saying, but currently there is a lull, but
Yeah.
you're waiting with bated. For me, I'm
Breath.
waiting with bated
Basic
breath.
breath.
Like,
Yeah.
all right, is this too good to be true? Like yesterday morning, I slept through because I couldn't sleep the first night,
Mm.
and I was so tired. I had no choice but to sleep. So my friends who were up at 3 a.m. were telling me about the missiles going off, and I was sleeping through that. But while I'm during the day, it started to get explosive again, and you can literally feel the building shake. And so those moments, there is
Yes.
that fear rising up. But I
Yeah.
do agree with Bradley, that sense of calm.
Calm.
God's it's really just God's peace. And for someone like me, I will be very anxious in situations, but God's peace has really been keeping me calm, and
I,
so I'm really grateful for that. But if I were to have a moment that there is a green light, I think I would, especially just knowing that, I want to be there amongst family, in this time.
Right, and I want to get to that question before we have to close. There are about 5 minutes remaining about how your
Sure.
family members have been reacting. But my producer shared with me a post on X from Assistant Secretary Maura Namdar, yes. And of course, it says the Secretary Rubio, that's the Secretary of State, yes, and the State Department urges
Yes.
Americans to depart now from the countries below using available commercial transportation due to serious safety risks. Americans who need State Department assistance arranging to depart via commercial means call us, and they've given a number. And of course, it says enrolling, and it gives them the information what to do in terms of getting in touch with the U.S. Embassy and consulate. The countries that they've listed here, security updates for Americans in the Middle East, they say depart now via commercial means due to serious safety risk. Bahrain, Egypt, Iran, Iraq, Israel, the West Bank and Gaza, Jordan, Kuwait, Lebanon, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Syria, United Arab Emirates, Yemen. You heard from the president today, I think it was, if not yesterday, saying this might go on for a few weeks. How do you all respond to that? Do you think you can hunker down if this lasts for the next couple of weeks?
Funny you say that. We just got an SMS saying to hunker down pretty much. We just received an SMS about that. So it's in moments like these where, you consider if there's a green light, as Angelique said earlier, you just want to, leave to ride out the storm and then, possibly return. So I guess we're saying that once the situation, if we see that it's intensifying, once there's a green light, then I'll definitely will jump on that green light. But as it is right now, there's some calm and there's some reassurance that is under control as it is
How
right
about
now.
our own Foreign Affairs Ministry? Have you heard from them? Has anyone reached out to you? Have you seen any alerts?
Yes. And so, since you've mentioned about the American Embassy, all right, that's one of the things that, of course, we would want to see as Jamaicans in the Middle East, that sense of even an ambassador or something to that effect, knowing that the numbers are growing. But that's a whole other conversation. But while we're here, we have been in dialogue with His Excellency Jason Hall, who is in India, the High Commissioner to India from Jamaica. And he has reached out to say, well, they are in any dialogue. So One of the things I guess, because for me personally, I've been trying to map out, where would be the best route if you are able to leave and how, because those are considerations as well. It's easy to say we'd want to go back home, but especially for me in Kuwait, the how is a factor. And so in Ambassador Jason Hall reaching out, I mean, that would probably have to be one of the options if India allows us that passage, put it that way, because where else would be safe to transition, to transit rather. And so those are some of the considerations in staying put, because we can't just jump out of the situation and go into something more
right.
volatile.
There needs to be a clear path.
There needs to be a clear path.
Area.
But the ministry has reached out through His Excellency Jason Hall.
Wonderful. Happy to hear that. Bradley Barrett, and I'd love to hear from each of you quickly on this, your loved ones. We've heard how you are handling the situation. How about your loved ones back home? They must be losing it.
Yes, sir.
Bradley Barrett?
They are, I would say, in the initial part of it, they had, certain panic reactions, of course, especially the females, my wife and others. But, I've assured them that I'm okay, and I've kept in touch with them. And so it has been, I would say, a little bit better. But initially, they're like, you need to get out. The first opportunity you get, you need to come home. It was that kind of reaction. But again, jumping out, is something that I think about, but it's not something that's at the forefront of my mind right now. Anyway, and as was said, the airspace is closed. So I mean,
I have less than 10 seconds. Lorenzo Smith, your loved ones, how have they been reacting? Lorenzo Smith? All right. We're not hearing Lorenzo. It seems that there's an issue with his line. We have to leave it there, though. I want to thank Bradley Barrett, Angelique Davidson, and Lorenzo Smith. They're all in the Middle East, and they share their experiences with us. Please be safe. Our prayers and thoughts are with you and everyone in the Middle East. All right? Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
This has been the cover story. The headlines are next.
Cover Story was brought to you by
Multilink. Roll with control. Use Multilink. Safe, fast, and accepted in more locations.
The time brought to you by Guardian Life. Live secure, live easy is
2 minutes after 6.
Nationwide headlines at 6.
Good evening with the headlines at 6. I'm Norige Banton. Senior Parish Judge Sasha Marie Ashley has died. Her death was announced by Chief Justice Brian Sykes on Monday. The senior justice passed Monday morning after a period of illness. She was 45. Chief Justice Brian Sykes praised Judge Ashley for her service to the judiciary.
Judge Ashley was an outstanding judicial officer who served the people of Jamaica with distinction, compassion, and an unwavering commitment to justice. Throughout her service in Hanover, St. James, Clarendon, and Westmoreland, she demonstrated an admirable balance of firmness, fairness, and humanity, qualities that earned her the respect of litigants, attorneys at law, court staff, and her judicial colleagues.
Justice Ashley began her judicial career in July 2016. She first acted as a parish judge, which was at the time still referred to as a resident magistrate. She was fully appointed to the post in December 2018. She is the daughter of late Attorney at Law, MP for Southwest St. Anne, Ernest Smith. Beyond her professional excellence, the Chief Justice described Justice Ashley as a warm and vibrant presence within the judiciary family. Tense and anxious, that's the overwhelming feeling among Jamaicans in the Middle East as hostilities in the region escalate following the U.S. and Israel's attack on Iran on Saturday and Iran's retaliatory strikes across the region. The UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, Jordan and Kuwait, all home to U.S. military bases, say they had intercepted missiles fired towards them. Jamaicans in the United Arab Emirates, UAE, say there have been multiple loud explosions as the country's air defenses intercept missiles fired from Iran. They've been getting alerts via text message urging them to hunker down. The alert seen by our news center says, due to current situation, a potential missile threat, seek immediate shelter in the closest secure building and steer away from windows, doors, and open areas. Await further instructions. A Jamaican woman posting on her TikTok account under the name Abigail says the sounds of loud explosions over the past 24 hours have made it difficult to rest.
It's 1:53 a.m. in the morning and I can't sleep because I have to keep my eye on the ground. In this case, in the sky. Like after 10, my doze off and I was awakened by like a huge explosion. It was that bad that the building where I'm in shakes severely. I look outside, people out there video who are cry, who are pray. It's bizarre.
Another Jamaican in the UAE, educator Lorenzo Smith, told Nationwide News on Monday that limited flights have resumed.
So we didn't hear any explosive sounds. The two major airports, that's the Dubai International and Zayed International in Abu Dhabi, they're now offering limited flights out, so that's a good sign. It's relatively calm today. However, the atmosphere is still tense, still a bit tense. I've made contact with some Jamaicans in Kuwait, and they are having a little more difficult than we are in the UAE, because you'd have seen in the news where a fighter jet pretty much crashed in Kuwait. So yeah, they're having a little more difficult than we are.
A Jamaican in the UAE, Lorenzo Smith. A group of 5 civil society organizations, CSOs, have called on National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang to withdraw his blood money remark levied against Jamaicans for Justice, JFJ. The CSOs made the call in a statement to the media on Monday. Speaking on Nationwide last Monday, Dr. Horace Chang labeled the human rights lobby group JFJ as living off blood money.
Let me get you clearly. You're saying that entities like JFJ, and you've mentioned them by name 4 times in the interview so far, that they live off blood money because their criticism of the police increases funding to them, and you believe that that's what they're doing. Just to get you clear.
I think so. It doesn't happen. They have never shown an interest in supporting the police in their efforts. So, no, that doesn't matter. Innocent Jamaicans dying is not a problem. The fact is that the police roll out all cameras. No.
JFJ, in response, dismissed the remark, labeling it as untrue, unfortunate, and inflammatory. The group added that it would be seeking legal advice on how to proceed. Today, 5 CSOs have come out in support for the JFJ. The Caribbean Vulnerable Communities Coalition, Equality for All Foundation, IDEA Research Center or IDEA Research Center, Jamaica Accountability Meter Portal, and the National Integrity Action NIA describe the minister's comment as slanderous. They say groups like them receive contributions from local entities and grants from the same international development partners as the government of Jamaica. The CSO say that while they welcome constructive criticism, they reject statements such as the minister's which threaten their safety, undermine their work, or diminish their democracy. They are calling on Dr. Chang to withdraw his remarks. Those were the headlines at 6. I'm Norige Banton. Sports is next.
Hey my peeps, get this on the regular. Your HIV status if you consider. The least if you test once a year. Just 15 minutes and your status clear. Cause it might not show up on your timeline and you learn too late so you're out of time. A progressive future, mandatory. Real long life, our story. You hear?
Remember, update your status in a real life. Go HIV test today.
Just 15 minutes and your status clear. Real long life, our story. Real long life with a youth coming from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
If you've ever called in, shared your story, or got help on this show, then you're already family. Now make it official. Join the nationwide 90FM Family Club today on Patreon.
Good evening with your sports report. I am Alwix Raby. We start with some footballers. Mullines United were leading Harbourview 2-1 at sports time in their rare never Jamaica Premier League encounter at the Waterhouse Mini Stadium. Ronaldo Barrett gave Mullines the lead after only 6 minutes before the prolific Nicholas Nelson made it 2-0 just 4 minutes later. Captain Trayvon Reed pulled one back for Harbourview in the 19th minute. Mullines are currently 12th in the 14-team table with 23 points and can join Treasure Beach in 11th if they go on to win, while Harbourview are looking to climb out of the bottom two. They are on 20 points. Later at 7:30, Waterhouse, who have put together 5 wins from their last 6 games, will battle Cellar Dwellers Spanish Town Police. Now, Jamaica's national senior women's football team is expected to battle the heat and the famed artificial surface when they face Nicaragua in their FIFA World Cup qualifier in just under 1 hour's time. The Group B encounter will be Jamaica's second in the qualifiers, following their 18 hammering of Dominica last November. Jamaica are currently second behind the Nicaraguans, who've played a game more, and a victory in this fixture will see the Reggae Girls go top on goal difference. Captain Khadija Bonnie Shaw has admitted the challenges and says they are anticipating a tough challenge.
As it relates to the turf, obviously most of us are based in Europe, so we aren't really used to playing on turf. But I think we've been here for a couple of days now to try to get accustomed to it and get used to it. So yeah, it's not ideal, but I think these circumstances are going to happen. We're going to face challenges, whether we like it or not, but we have to just get on with it. And I think we're just going to go out and try to give a professional performance.
Now the Jamaicans are hunting a 3rd straight World Cup appearance, and Shaw is liking the camaraderie.
Yeah, like I said, we've been here a few days now to try to get accustomed to the pitch and the heat. Obviously, it's different from what we're ideally used to, but yeah, I think it's been good. We've come together after being away for so long.
Meanwhile, Reggae Girls defender Tiana Harris explained that she's eagerly anticipating Monday night's matchup against Group B opponent Nicaragua. Harris added that it's an open secret what the Reggae Girls are trying to achieve, and she's happy to be a part of it.
Goal of mine for many years, and honestly it means the most because it represents way more than just myself. Being able to represent a country and being able to represent something that means so much to so many people, and it makes the game a lot different, and it makes me way happy.
Harris plies her trade in Portugal for SF Damanese, and according to the 26-year-old, she feels confident as the preparation leading up to the game was good.
I feel like we're ready. We've set in the preparations. The foundation has already been set. I think it's really easy when you have women like Bunny, Dan, Kanya, who have set the foundation and the mold, and being able to play with those types of girls, you're prepared. And the coaches have done a really good job preparing us. I know that Nicaragua is going to put up a great fight. So it's just more so us working on ourselves and securing those things that we've worked on in camp so far and bringing them into the game and doing the best that we can, because we know that Nicaragua is going to bring their best. It's just about us now bringing our best.
Tiana Harris. Well, Jamaican international Michael Antonio says he feels like a schoolboy again as he prepares to play his first club game in 15 months. The 35-year-old striker survived a horrific car crash in December 2024, which left him with multiple leg fractures, which sidelined him for 8 months. His contract with West Ham was not renewed, and despite impressing in a few trial runs, he was ultimately not offered a contract in England.
At the beginning, clubs were calling saying, yeah, I want him to come in and train. And
with my ego that I had, I was like, I'm not coming to train. Like, you've seen that I've played with Jamaica. And what I've done in the last 10 years, I shouldn't have to go in and train with somebody. I should be able to just sign a contract and come in. So my ego was getting in the way of me signing contracts because I was like, I'm not doing it. And then clubs are like, well, if you ain't doing that, then we're not signing you. And I was like, cool, don't sign me, someone will sign me.
Antonio has now joined the Qatari side, Al Saleh, where he is hoping to get much needed playing time. Antonio is West Ham United's record scorer in the Premier League with 68 goals in a career in West London spanning 323 in all competitions. Now to cricket, as the West Indies team is currently stuck in India after turmoil in the Middle East has forced the closure of airspaces in the region, delaying their departure following their exit from the ICC World T20 tournament. CWI says it is working closely with the International Cricket Council, government authorities and airline partners to secure the earliest safe travel arrangement for the squad and its support staff. The organization emphasized that the safety and well-being of players, coaches and officials remains its highest priority. The team remains safely accommodated in India while officials continue to monitor the evolving situation. CWI thank fans, families and stakeholders for their patience and understanding during this delay. Meanwhile, Captain Shea Hope says the team can be proud of their performance during the tournament.
Our bowling, we thought it was a lot better than previous series. And this is when you really wanted to stand up. The bowling, especially the power players, were really good. I think we had 38 wickets out of 40 in the group stages. So that was amazing in T20 cricket. And then from a batting standpoint, Shimron Hetmeyer coming in at number 3 and doing what he does best. A lot of the batters coming in, contributing to those bigger totals that we got in this tournament. Thought the feeling was okay in patches, but again, we still got many areas that we could improve. And you can pick the entire tournament down. There's always somewhere you can improve, but there's always a lot of positive that you can take from it.
Shea Hope. The team suffered a 5-wicket defeat to host India in their final Super 8 game at the tournament, which denied them a place in the semi-finals. South Africa will face New Zealand in semi-final 1 on Wednesday, with India squaring off with England in the second semi-final in Mumbai on Thursday. Now, West Indies women opener Kiana Joseph has called on her fellow batters to raise their game ahead of Tuesday's decisive third T20 international against Sri Lanka in Grenada. The Windies slipped to a 4-wicket defeat in the second match on Sunday and now face a must-win encounter to remain in the series. The West Indies were bowled out for 101 on Sunday, and Joseph admitted the batting unit must take greater responsibility if they are to reverse their fortunes.
I think that our batters should just step up, come to the table, score some runs, and then we will win the game. Because we have a lot of batting abilities, each and everybody can bat, and I think that once we step up as batters, we can win the game.
The home team were beaten 2-1 in the preceding one-day international series. Now to some basketball, as Issa Rural Under-16 basketball finals tipped off in exciting fashion on Monday at Herbert Morrison Technical High School, where the home side surged past Manchester High 57-36 to take a 1-0 lead in the best-of-3 series. Backed by strong home support, Herbert Morrison Tech overcame a slow start to dominate the latter stages of the contest. Manchester High edged the opening quarter 8-5, capitalizing on early defensive pressure and transition baskets. However, the hosts settled into their rhythm in the second quarter, outscoring Manchester 15-7 to take a 20-15 lead at halftime. Herbert Morrison tightened their defense after the break and continued to build momentum, winning the third quarter 17-13 before closing emphatically with a 20-8 fourth quarter burst to seal the 21-point victory. Tyler Linton led the charge for Herbert Morrison with 15 points, while Antonia Kerr added 13 points. Herbert Morrison will look to close out the title when Game 2 tips off on Friday at Manchester High. Meanwhile, Manchester will aim to regroup on home court and force a decisive third game. Now to swimming, as coach Kafia Rapley has heaped praises on her athletes following Woolmer's impressive showing at the recent ASAJ High School and Tertiary Championships held at the Stadium Pool. Wolmer's boys produced a commanding performance to capture their section with 413 points, finishing comfortably ahead of Jamaica College, who tallied 337.5 points, and Campion College, who placed third with 316 points. On the girls' sides, Wolmer's secured third place with 163 points in a fiercely competitive division. Immaculate Conception High dominated the standings with 500 points, while Campion College finished second with 356. Rapley said she was extremely proud of the efforts shown by both teams, highlighting the dedication and resilience displayed throughout the meet. Rapley says the ASAJ meet holds special significance each year. She described it as one of the premier events on the local swimming calendar, bringing together the island's top high school and tertiary talent in a showcase of excellence and sportsmanship.
This meet is more open to swimmers, so we're able to enter more of our boys and girls in this competition. That gives them the valuable experience that they need. For this meet, our national swimmers were using it more of a training ground, as we know Carifta is fast approaching. And as for the swimmers who are not on the national team, they were there mainly to try to secure some personal best times, as the times at this meet will be noted for the swimming rankings.
Kafia Rapley. And the match time for the Jamaica versus Nicaragua game is at 7 p.m. Jamaica time. I'm Alric Swaby, and that's your sports.
We are the best at what we do. At Hose Assembly and Supply Limited, we supply hose fittings and tools. We guarantee we can't be beaten when price and quality are combined. You brand us the Hose and Tool Boss because we deliver the most effective industrial solutions. Come in and experience the joy of shopping with Hose Assembly and Supply Limited. Call us 876-923-3936 or visit 173 Hagley Park Road, 2 Charlesworth Crescent or Montego Bay Trade Center. Hose Assembly and Supply Limited. More than just hoses. Now open every Sunday.
Multi-link, access every time, everywhere I go. Multi-link, 24/7 access for me. It's just a win-win when we use Multi-link. This card is Jamaican built, yeah. Fast and secure, you can use anywhere. Spend while supporting the economy.
Look for the Multi-link logo on your card and benefit from Jamaica's largest debit payment network.
Multi-link, 24/7 access for me.
What would I do without my Multi-link?
You may have been hearing the teasers. Now it's official. Beginning Monday, February 9, 2026, Nationwide News Network launches something special. The Nationwide Family Club, exclusively on Patreon.
With the Family Club, members get early access to our documentaries before anyone else. Some of your favorite segments, including Cliff Says, What's on My Mind, Cover Story, and others will now be a click away inside the Family Club. There are 3 tiers of membership. First, Bronze, the Family Insider, behind-the-scenes access, Monday motivational videos, members-only chats, and on-air birthdays and anniversary shoutouts.
Second, Silver, Nationwide VIP. Breaking news alerts, exclusive documentaries, quizzes, personal milestones celebrated on air, and weekly family roll call mentions. Oh, and for our biggest supporters,
our gold category, elite listener, full archive access, early releases, private studio tours, live show experiences, personalized birthday videos, and exclusive live streams. From historic election coverage to lifetime, impact, Jamaican milestones, and rare archive content. This is Nationwide like you've never seen it before.
Join the family. Support Nationwide 90 FM, the station that informs, entertains, and educates. Visit patreon.com/Nationwide News Network. That's patreon.com/Nationwide News Network. Nationwide Family Club, where you are family, because we see you as family.
Every day, Jamaicans have something to say. In the group chats, on social media, in the streets, there's a place where it all comes together. The comment section. This is not a lecture. This is not a call-in show. This is the hottest topics of the day, filtered through real opinions, real WhatsApp messages, real voice notes, real reactions. You agree, disagree, sound off, text it, voice note it, debate it. Comments section, Monday to Friday from 7 to 7:30 p.m. only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media.
From the biggest tracks to the biggest energy, Nationwide keeps it moving. If you love the vibes, come and lock in with us for real.
World boss, leave a prison could stop me.
Join the Nationwide 90 FM Family Club today on Patreon.
Practice. God me say you watch you off me practice.
It's Monday, get over your blues. Or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The E-Zone is here for you. With the Stinger Honey Bee
and Karim Boyatings
from 3 to 5 p.m. on Nationwide 90 FM.
We've got your entertainment news.
Then we want to hear your views. What you said?
Jump in the mix.
Or the hot seat.
Don't miss our brainbusters.
Or the crazy giveaways.
Let's talk fashion.
Send us your outfit of the day. Ooh, cutesy. Very demure.
Are you looking for love?
Come on one of our blind dates. Send your request to ezone blinddates@gmail.com. That's ezoneblindates@gmail.com.
And stay tuned for your confessions.
These are my confessions. Share them with us at ezoneconfessions@yahoo.com. I mean, is this planet Earth?
Is it?
I don't know. Let me check. Either way, it's got a buzz.
And a bugger thing.
Ow! Ow!
Welcome back. Thank you so very much for staying with us right here inside Must Listen Radio. It's Nationwide at 5. We're inside the nation's business, and inside the nation's business, we want to turn our attention to an issue involving the Jamaica Teachers Association, JTA, and a call it's making for the relocation of people displaced by Hurricane Melissa who are still being housed in school properties, on school properties. The Category 5 system struck the island in October 2025. It devastated the western section of the island, with Westmoreland and St. Elizabeth among the hardest hit parishes. 125 days after the passage of the hurricane, some schools continue to house dislocated families, even as they accommodate teaching and learning. In a release late on Sunday, the JTA said, while it acknowledges the efforts of the Education Ministry, the prolonged occupancy of school facilities by shelterees has become untenable. It says, while separation protocols and supervision have been implemented, schools were never intended to function as long-term emergency shelters. President of the association, Mark Malava, says the continued housing of shelterees on school compounds raises legitimate safety concerns and undermines public confidence in institutions. The JT has also expressed concerns about what it says are repeated missed deadlines by the Ministry of Local Government regarding relocation efforts. The association says it is demanding a clear time-bound plan outlining the full relocation of remaining shelterees and restoration of complete educational normality. It threatens that if its demands are not met in a timely manner, the association reserves the right to pursue other options. In the meantime, the Minister of Local Government and Community Development, that's Desmond McKenzie, is set to issue an update on shelter occupancy and relocation timelines. On Monday morning, he told Nationwide News that he'll make a full statement following the weekly cabinet meeting. We have not been able to reach him since, but we are now being joined by the president of the JTA, Mr. Malava. Mr. Malava, thank you so very much for being here with us on Nationwide at 5.
Thank you for having me. Good evening to you.
Indeed, Mr. Malava, you are quite concerned about those who are still using the schools as shelters so many days hence since the passage of Hurricane Melissa. One would say it sounds reasonable that the JTA would be raising an issue about this. But one of the things you pointed out was repeated missed deadlines. How many deadlines have the government missed so far?
At least 2 to 3 deadlines that they would have indicated that, particularly the local government, would have indicated that, by a certain time, the shelteries would have been relocated.
And the latest one was, what was the date of the latest deadline that was missed?
Off the top of my head, I can distinctly recall the Ministry of Local Government indicating that all shelters will be closed in time for the commencement of the new academic term. So that would have been the last time that I would have remembered. I think there was another opportunity after that, sometime in January when another deadline was given. Where we are now is that some 13 schools are still being used as shelters. And we are particularly concerned about the fact that a number of primary schools are being used as shelters. These are young, impressionable children, whose sense of responsibility and sense of awareness tends to be a little bit less because of their age. We are particularly concerned about those areas, those schools that are being used, the primary schools that are being used as shelters. For us, when you have
we're up on a time signal, Mr. Malava. I'm so sorry to cut your thought. We have to take this time signal. But when you come back, I'll allow you to complete your thoughts. And I'd love to hear what the conversations have been like with the government that the JTA has had so far, and whether or not you have any reports of incidents involving students and those who are still using the school compounds for shelter since the passage of Hurricane Melissa. This is the Nation's Business right here inside Nationwide at 5. We'll take a break and come back with more.
Drive the most exciting new vehicles in Jamaica. Schedule your 2024 Ford Ranger pickup or Ford Everest 7-seater SUV test drive now. Call or visit KIG today.
The time by KIG is
6:31.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business. This station raised me. It gave me a voice. And if Nationwide has ever meant something to you, come on in. Join the Nationwide 90 FM Family Club today on Patreon. For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
For staying with us, we're talking with the president of the JTA, that's the Jamaica Teachers Association, Mark Malava, and of course the JTA is raising concerns about the relocation of people displaced by Hurricane Melissa who are still being housed on school properties. And of course, schools are in swing again. And Mark Malava is saying the deadlines are being missed and the situation is untenable. Mr. Malava, you still with us? Mr. Malava? Now hearing Mr. Malava studio. Not certain if the call has been dropped. But let's try and see if we can reconnect with Mr. Malava if that is the case. Mr. Malava, are you there? No, not hearing him. So a couple of things we want to, let's see if we can reconnect with the JTA boss. A couple of things we want to hear from him. The conversations the JTA has had with the government. What are they saying about the missed deadlines? That's one. And whether or not there have been any incidents on the compounds of these schools that are housing classes as well as continuing to be a place of shelter. Certainly it can't be the most ideal of situations. And so the concerns are not unfounded at all. Mr. Malava, are you back with us? Mr. Malava, are you there? All right, we're not hearing Mr. Malava. Studio, can you tell us what's the situation with Mr. Malava? Has the call dropped? Let us know. Interestingly, I gather on the flip side of this, a question that should detain us and perhaps should rightly detain the government is what are the options if not housing them at the schools? Where else can the government unceremoniously just kick folks off the properties without finding a suitable location for them if their houses remain damaged? That's also something that should detain our thoughts as well. But we're still trying to see if we can get Mr. Malava back. Mr. Malava, are you with us? All right, still not hearing Mr. Malava. Let's go to the break now. We take a break right here on Nationwide at 5, and then we'll try and reconnect with Mark Malava. Soon come.
So some of you have been listening longer than I've been talking on radio, so this is our way of keeping it strong together. Join the Nationwide 90 FM Family Club on Patreon and stay with us.
Every day, Jamaicans have something to say. In the group chats, on social media, in the streets, there's a place where it all comes together. The comment section. This is not a lecture. This is not a call-in show. This is the hottest topics of the day, filtered through real opinions, real WhatsApp messages, real voice notes, real reactions. You agree, disagree, sound off, text it, voice note it, debate it. Comments section, Monday to Friday from 7 to 7:30 p.m. only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media.
Cliff Says is by far the most popular mid-morning radio segment in Jamaica. Cliff Hughes shares his views on the hot-button topics of the day, editorializing on various issues in the news, breaking news stories, and expounding on stories. Cliff Says sets the tone of the show for the rest of the day. Join the award-winning journalist Cliff Hughes weekdays during Cliff Hughes Online at 10 to 10:30 a.m. Join the revolution in media.
As we grow older, there are many challenges that we have to confront, but these years can represent the best in our lives. Coming of Age during Nationwide This Morning on Thursdays explores issues persons 50 and over confront. It also provides expert opinions on how we can improve the quality of our lives as we get older. That's Coming of Age, this and every Thursday during Nationwide This Morning at 6:51 a.m.
Welcome back. Thank you so very much for sticking and staying with us right here inside the cover story of Nationwide. Pardon me, I mean the Nation's Business on Nationwide at 90 FM. We should have in studio our reporter Abigail Bartley. She's deputizing for Dana Davy, who is a little under the weather. Abby, are you there? We're not hearing Abby. Well, listen to me, listeners. I must advise you. Let me just tell you what is being said before I offer my comments on this, because. So we are being told that Mr. Malava has left the interview and he's not coming back. That is what we're being told. And apparently he told our producer, Ms. Abigail Bartley, that he's gone into a meeting. When he spoke with our producer earlier today, that's Dana Davy, he told her that he'd come out of the meeting to speak with us. And apparently he came out of the meeting and he has gone back in. And as you've seen, he only spent just a few minutes with us. And he's apparently not coming back out of the meeting to have this conversation with us. So he has unceremoniously left the interview. Is Abigail there? I want to be sure that I'm being fair to Mr. Malava. Abigail, are you there? All right. So, look, this is very unprofessional for Mr. Malava, the president of the Jamaica Teachers Association. But am I surprised? Am I surprised that a president of the JTA is doing something like this? I'm actually not surprised at all. I wish I could tell you that I'm surprised, but the JTA hardly surprises me anymore.
Okay.
And the folks that they have chosen to lead them. I'm not surprised. Abigail, are you there with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you so much for joining us in studio, Abigail, on such short notice. But what has happened to Mr. Malava, if you could tell Jamaica?
Well, I just spoke with him a while ago. The call fell, but when I reconnected with him, he told me that he had to go into a meeting. I tried to get him to give us 5 extra minutes, and he said that he couldn't. It was very important, and he had to go. And he also asked if we could push him back to another time, but unfortunately, we're not able to do that, so the call fell.
And he was previously told what time the segment is?
Yes.
The duration of the segment?
Yes, Dana actually told him the time of the segment, and she indicated to me that he said he would be able to step out of the meeting to have the conversation with you this afternoon.
Yeah. Well, it's entirely unfortunate that Mr. Malava has decided not to completely honor that commitment. But thank you, Abigail.
No
appreciate it. Just wanted it to come from our producer who is talking directly with Mr. Malava.
No problem.
But thank you so much, Abigail. Appreciate it. All right. But this issue is an issue of concern. It is an issue of concern because the truth is it's not ideal that we have students and adults who've not been vetted in any way as to their suitability to perhaps be on the same compound as children. Because in an exigency such as people being dislocated because a hurricane has damaged their house, you just want to ensure that you put people up in a safe space. And anyone can turn up to these shelters, yes? I'm not certain of the degree of security checks that are made. Perhaps IDs are checked. I'm not sure of what happens when someone shows up to a shelter. But what is the solution going forward? The government, we're being told, has missed a couple of deadlines, and that also isn't something that's acceptable. We're being told that Minister Mackenzie says he'll issue a statement on the way forward after cabinet today. Yes, they need to explain why it is that the deadlines were missed. Yeah, they needs to be explained why those deadlines were missed. and what really is the solution going forward. There can't be another missed deadline. Schools need to be operational as schools, fully as schools. But I can hear in my mind those who are saying, look, the government is caught between a rock and a hard place. What are they going to do if these individuals can't return to any sense of normality just as yet? And it raises another question that should detain us going forward. What really should be used as shelters? Schools are not necessarily ideal, one would think, because of a situation like this, where if the damage is extensive, it can affect how schools are able to reopen. And so perhaps that's something that we need to study and spend some time on in terms of coming up with better locations that can serve as shelters in the event that we need to use them long term. And of course, perhaps when we speak to the minister, and if we ever get to speak to the JTA boss again, that have there been any reports of incidents between those who are using the school compound as a place of shelter while school is operational? Are there any incidents that have happened? The clear lines of demarcation that need to be there, are those being ignored? What are the plans for enforcement of that? Are those rules being observed? And if they are not being observed, are we booting the people from the premises who are breaching those rules? So there's quite a bit for us to consider and to get our minds around, because of course the safety of the nation's children must be treated as paramount in this situation. All right, that's where we're going to have to wrap it up for the nation's business. We're going to take another break right here. And when we come back, from our next break, we will take you around the world.
He never shies away from taboo topics. Voyagings After Dark.
The most riveting discussions.
Voyagings After Dark.
Topics that are shunned by society.
And everything else in between. Voyagings After Dark with Kareem Voyagings this and every Wednesday from 8 to 11 p.m. on Nationwide 90 FM.
You can't miss.
What's buzzing?
Celebrity outfits.
Is that a hit or a miss?
Bust the odds.
Jamaica's Got Talent.
Wait, man.
Hot takes.
Talk up the takes.
Actual factual.
Life is short.
Voyagings After Dark.
Come get your mind blown.
And your curiosity explored.
Hi there. Here's some good news for these trying times. Quote, "By God's word, I can see where I'm going. They throw a beam of light on my dark path." Unquote. Psalm 119, verse 105. Listen for God's word weekdays at 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. through
Oasis. Stop by for a refreshing drink and share a God perspective for the day.
Oasis. Weekdays 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. right here on Nationwide, a revolution in media.
The rebroadcast of the Oasis can be heard weekdays at 5:45 a.m.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. We're going to bring to you now a paid interview. Sagicor Real Estate X Fund Limited closed the 2025 financial year with a landmark performance, achieving record profitability of $1.01 billion. Now, this represents year-over-year growth of 121%. The group's strong performance was driven by a 70% improvement in net profits from core operations, which jumped from $454.02 million in 2024 to $772 million at the end of 2025. Sagicor Real Estate X Fund operates as a real estate investment vehicle and is a subsidiary of Sagicor Group Jamaica Limited. Incorporated in 2011 in St. Lucia, the company focuses on acquiring and managing income-generating real estate assets, primarily within the hospitality and commercial sectors. To discuss further, we are being joined by Chairman of the Sagicor Real Estate X Fund Limited, Howard Mitchell. Top of the evening to you, Mr. Mitchell. How are you?
Good evening to you, sir. Good evening to your listeners.
Glad to have you. No stranger to us here on Nationwide at 5 in many capacities. But let's talk about the X Fund. It has crossed the $1 billion net profit mark for the first time. How significant is this achievement?
Well, I think it means a lot to us, and I think it means a lot to our shareholders, which is even more important. It's not just, in our humble opinion, just a one-off lucky shot. It is what you call the utilization of patient capital, because we have made deliberate and rational decisions over time, and we have been disciplined about where we put our money, so that this will happen. I think when you are investing other people's money, there are two significant things that you need to assure. One is that you get a sufficient return on capital, and the other one is that you encourage revenue growth. We have been fortunate in keeping our eyes on those prizes, and this is the result of it. Hopefully, we can continue following the template, and I don't promise you the same kind of results next year, but that's our target now. The bar has been raised.
And what signal should this send to investors about the X Fund in particular?
I'm sorry, say again?
I say, what signal should this performance send to the market, to potential investors concerning the X Fund?
Well, the signal is that if you invest in a measured, careful way, with doing a lot of your homework, you will get returns even in volatile times. So that we have been fortunate. Last year we had a good return from a number of our investments, the most significant of which was the New Fortress bond. But this is what happens when you do your homework. So the key message is do your homework and you'll get your returns.
For those who are thinking about Hurricane Melissa and the impact it has had on just doing business in general overall, and they might be questioning how did the X Fund manage to deliver these results despite the economic pressures brought on by Hurricane Melissa and shifting global conditions. How would you respond to that?
So we've been fortunate in that our core investments, which really are returns on money, our interest returns, have been strong. As I mentioned, we got lucky with the New Fortress exposure. But also, our direct real estate investment in Jamaica is a very minor percentage. Okay, and it's through Sigma Holdings, which is another member of the Sagicor Group. The fact is that we have been diversifying over the years. We are in Florida. We have a hotel in Florida, which in Orlando, which so far has performed admirably, and we have every reason to believe that with the increase in global tourism that has been occurring, that Orlando will be a profit center, will continue to be a profit center. We've also invested in commercial real estate in Cayman, so that we were fortunate that Melissa was localized and we had no investments in that area. As a consequence, however, of the event of Melissa, what we are now doing is looking at investments in Jamaica, because we believe that there is strong potential in recovery and that there are opportunities if we look at resilient properties that have become available because of the advent of Melissa.
It's interesting you mentioned the word resilience, because that's where my mind was going in terms of this whole business of climate change, and the word in response to climate change is resilience across all the various sectors. How do you build out resilience when it comes to real estate investing? How much does climate change and its impact and the need to be resilient factor into what you choose to invest in?
Well, it's factoring a lot more than it used to. And what it means is that for every investment decision that we make, we have to also get expert advice on the exposures of the particular investment to climate eventualities, and we have to look at the geographical locations that we invest in under the microscope of an analysis of climate change. But it's not just climate change. What has happened because of increasing geopolitical turbulence is that we also had to add another prism, which is the prism, the glass of political instability and therefore economic uncertainty. So it's become a little more complex, but the requirement that is imposed on us as investors on behalf of stakeholders is to do more work, to do more research, do more analysis, and come to rational conclusions.
How would you describe, Mr. Hamilton, the group's balance sheet and liquidity position?
Well, we're pretty strong. At the moment, our total assets are at just about $31 billion at year-end. We have increased that by about 5%. And our stockholders' equity has increased by 7% to $24 billion. So that reflects improved profitability and asset value appreciation. We have a positive operating cash flow. We have operating cash flows of close to $1 billion, which strengthens our liquidity and our capacity to look at other investment opportunities. And the fact is that what we did last year is we have some debt obligations in regard to the hotel in Orlando, and basically we reduced that by almost half. So that means more income to the bottom line.
Yeah, at the beginning of the interview, in the lead-in I read, it was highlighted that the Sagicor Real Estate X Fund Limited closed the 2025 financial year with a landmark performance. Those are strong words, great words to be describing any performance. We also said it achieved record profitability of $1.01 billion, which represented year-over-year growth of 121%. I guess by any objective measure, that is a significant performance. But you did, I'm not certain if I was hearing from you, a bit of tempering for the outlook for 2026. So could you just walk down that road with us, looking ahead? What is your outlook for 2026 and beyond? Do you intend to outdo last year's performance?
Well, the fact is that we have been increasing our performance over the last 2-3 years. We have been doing better every year. However, a track record is an indication, it is not a promise. So that, and circumstances are always changing. I mean, you and I know, we see, anybody with eyes can see the increasing geopolitical instability globally. So that I would not, while I'm being optimistic, I would not commit to the same kind of performance that we had last year. What I will commit to is that we are going to be measured, we're going to be deliberate, we're going to make choices that make sense, and we're going to utilize our capital in the most opportunistic way, looking at long-term results, not quarter-by-quarter profit jumps. So you will see better performance next year. I can't promise you 120% increase over
next year. We have under 2 minutes remaining, Mr. Mitchell. I think I might have said Mr. Hamilton earlier. No, please pardon me, Mr. Mitchell. We have less than 2 minutes, the main drivers behind the profitability, and how can those who are interested in investing in Sagicor Real Estate X Fund go about doing so? Those are my last two questions.
They can buy our shares on the stock market, first of all. The main drivers, we have been focused on tourism in specific areas that have resilience and have long-term profitability embedded in them. We have also looked and we've diversified into commercial real estate in growth areas. So we're in Cayman. We're looking at some other areas within the Caribbean, because the Caribbean is our area of knowledge, because we rely on the Sagicor Group, which has a large network throughout the Caribbean and Central America. So you will see forays into the Central American market, into our partners or territories in the Caribbean. And you also will see, we will be looking in our core business, we'll be looking for investment opportunities in financial investments that make sense. So that's what you can expect to see: commercial, tourism, and market investments.
The voice you just heard there, Howard Mitchell, he's chairman of the Sagicor Real Estate X Fund Limited. Thank you so much for making the time to be with us, Mr. Mitchell. Enjoy the rest of the day.
You have a wonderful afternoon.
You too. All right. That was a paid interview there with Sagicor Real Estate X Fund. That's where I have to leave it for this evening's program. We want to thank our super producer, Dana Davey, who's a little under the weather. I hope you feel better soon, Lady Dana. And of course, Abigail Bartley, who deputized for Dana in studio. Thanks to our technical operator, Andrew Glenn Anderson, all the hardworking members of the news and production team. I'm Tyrone Reed saying, have a good evening, everyone. This has been Nationwide at 5. Up next, it's the comment section with Mahiri Stewart, and the affable Shalois Michael.
Every day, Jamaicans have something to say.